Good morning, guys. My dear community. It is 7:40 a.m. on November 15, 2023. Um, so this podcast is going to be, I don't know, probably that much different. I don't fucking know. But this is just something that I've got to talk about. Okay. Number one. I want to go ahead and thank everybody for 1,030 subscribers. It's been crazy in these YouTube streets. Very crazy. Guys, I get caught up with schoolwork a lot. I try my best to try to do something. you know, just just ghetto stuff. Just doing podcasts and stuff, and you guys just keep watching and watching and it's pretty cool. And we'll be at 2,000 in no time if we keep going at the rate. Probably like sometime next year that we're going now. All right, you guys just keep watching because you guys are the best. But let me tell you who else is the best. Your parents. Everybody's parents is the best. Every generation of our our race, our human race, have a mix of good and bad parents. And blessingly to me and several other folks in our industry, we were raised right and we were raised by good people. We didn't have a lot of shit. Yes, we might give our mom and dad some help as children, but you grow up and you realize, damn, what was the stupid shit that I was doing? You guys are probably like sitting here listening, saying, "Oh, Specimen 9, why the hell are we talking about parents today? Normally you would just be shitting on the kids." Well, I want to talk about bad parenting and children being exposed on social media. I want to give the children a break because even though kids in my generation and nowadays know better and they purposely get themselves into trouble and always end up becoming the victim or playing victim, there are some instances where children don't know what they are doing, but they know what they're getting themselves into. And I really want to talk about that today. So, if you guys been on YouTube for a while, you'll know that YouTube has some of these videos of parents exposing their children. And before I continue any further, I want to go ahead and say that this topic, like many other topics I cover, holds very heavy subjects. If you're sensitive to these subjects, I don't know what to tell you other than leave. Because it just sometimes people just don't want to be hearing this kind of stuff, but it happens. It just cannot be ignored because it doesn't matter how much you ignore something, it will always be there. The problem will still exist regardless. It might not exist in your community, but it definitely exists in others. We're going to be talking about subjects like child exploitation, abuse, pornography, and obviously the freaking internet. And I'm gonna try to retain my sanity. I'm gonna try to stay calm because a lot of podcasts that I do when I talk about these subjects, I get riled up and I get angry. I'm gonna try not to uh, be pissed off. So if you've been on YouTube for a while, you know that there are some videos of children being exposed by their parents for either smoking weed or maybe having sex or maybe sending nudes and stuff like that. And one of the videos that I keep going back to um, is the one with Jada. Now, you guys don't know who Jada is. Jada was a kid who was 14 who was talking to multiple people on her Instagram. I'm going to presume grown men, and sent her nudes. Now, you see how I told you this information. I'm a stranger. I should not know anything about this child. I have a handful of little boys and girls' names. Well, mainly girls, because that's what you'll see. But I have a handful of girl names that I know who on YouTube who was exposed for doing some messed up crap. Very messed up. Okay. But I'm going to talk about the videos that I honestly think that is literally the definition of not only child abuse but exploitation of pornography as well. So, I want to start off with Jada. Now, Jada was a 14-year-old girl. I don't know why I'm saying was, but then again, I don't know her. But I hope she's not doing this anymore. But Jada at the time was a 14-year-old girl who had an Instagram and a Snapchat. Her mother obviously looked like a good parent and obviously looked like she was doing her job. All right. Um, Madame Moiselle, the YouTuber I watch, she actually broke down the video really good. So I will link her channel and the video from her channel in the description. If you are a kid, I would strongly advise you to watch this because this is the kind of stuff that happens on the internet that kids end up becoming vulnerable to, and that you guys just need to understand. I don't care if you're 13, 14, 15, or 16 because, minors hurt minors. And a lot of these videos where children are doing this kind of stuff have a lot of child pornography in it. Nothing less verbal and physical abuse. All right? It's just trauma on top of trauma. And that's what I was talking about in my last live stream, my last live podcast Saturday night last week about trauma. Even though it didn't, touch on the topic of kids being exposed on social media, this is the prime definition of trauma as well. So Jada was sending somebody nudes, how her mom put it, titty pictures. And the problem with this live stream is that Mademoiselle didn't show this. And the original video that was on YouTube, the original 30-minute and 15-minute video that was on YouTube is gone. So if you look it up, you'll probably see a 3-minute one, and that's probably as best as you're going to get. But her mother took and exposed her nudes to her audience, which is child pornography. All right. Now, I want to say this here. Jada was wrong for what she did. And again, she knew what she was getting herself into, but she might not know what she was doing. But she clearly knew that what she was getting herself into could have really not only costed her future, but it can cost everyone in that household literally everything that they have ever gotten. And I want to let you know, I'm a criminal justice student, so I know the laws pretty well. That sending child pornography, possessing child pornography, and that's actually exploiting too. I don't care if it was to prove a point or not. All of it is felonies. All of them are felonies, and that's what her mother did during her life. She didn't just physically abuse. I'm just using the terms that America uses nowadays because back then it would have just been punished. But she didn't just physically abuse Jada, but she also sexually exploited her child by exploiting her news to her audience, which could have been consisted of little boys, which is, I mean, that's harmful material to a minor, and grown men, which I would believe is sharing child pornography. Now, the person she sent this to, we don't really know who it was, but if it was a grown man, he would have been in possession of child pornography. And really, to be honest with you, and I'll never say this about parents, but just particularly for her, she really do need to be arrested because your kid sent a booby pic to somebody, and just because you're pissed off and you wanted to make a point, you took and sexually exploited your child to a lot of people. And then you also have, before the video was removed, it had hundreds and thousands of views. So hundreds and thousands of people, potentially women and men, not necessarily teen boys or girls or little boys and girls, also saw this. You exploited your kid. It's almost like you were advertising. I understood as a parent you were frustrated, and this was obviously not Jada's first time doing this. But there are other ways you could have handled it. You could have really handled it. I mean, it was really a crime she committed and just didn't know. And there is prison and jail for children. It's called juvie. Okay, so you could have sent her to juvie. You could have whooped her behind camera, but no, you just want to get on Instagram and be extra, and not only be extra, you want to exploit your kid, and that's just something that it just pisses me off a lot. Is that during a lot of these confrontations, some of these girls who are 13, for I think the youngest I knew was 11, probably 11 or I think it was 11 or 9. I'm not going to count that one video because that one video, the girl didn't really do anything fucked up other than cuss. But that was the 9-year-old. But I think the youngest that somebody got exposed for doing something sexual was either 11 or 12. And, it falls within that. It falls in with that category. So during the video that Madame Moiselle with Jada was doing her commentary on, Jada's mom was talking about, how, she was talking to all these grown men and shit and just putting her household in danger, which is if you are talking to anybody, regardless if you are a child or adult, you are really taking a huge risk and with talking to people on strangers, not on like now on the internet. Not unlike me, I don't automatically assume that every person is a bad person because this is my logic. How do you make friends? You make friends from strangers. When your child first goes to grade school in the first grade, they don't know anything. They don't know who their classmates are going to be. They don't know who their teacher is. They don't know any of that. How do you think we made friends when we were in school? Because kids are strangers to other kids as well. Adults are strangers to other kids. How do you think you get boyfriends and girlfriends? How do you think you get husband and wives? You have to be careful. And now that everything is really going digital, soon physical copies of books aren't even going to exist anymore. Hell, soon maybe actual school buildings aren't going to exist anymore because everybody's going to online school. And it's not even because of Corona. It's just because everything is digital now. How are you going to expect to make friends? How are you going to expect to get a boyfriend? How are you going to expect to get a husband or a wife or a girlfriend or whatever? That's just the gist of it. So when you're talking to strangers, there is a potential that you might be putting yourself at risk, but that's why too you have to be careful and not share any sensitive not share any sensitive information. And Jada, as a 14-year-old kid, she actually went a little too far by sending a picture because first of all, you're on Instagram, right? Which is I also don't have a problem with because you're not like sound like you're 12, sound like you're 11. Because in order to even have an Instagram, you gotta be 13 and up. But you're on Instagram. You have random people DMing you. You don't know these people, Jada. You don't know these people like a lot of people who are subscribed to my channel. I don't know them, and I don't make contact with them. Same thing with TikTok. If somebody follows me on TikTok, the only thing I'm gonna say is thank you for the follow, and that's it. And unless they're a minor, then I block them. And that's what I do with YouTube and Twitter too. They're minors, I block them. They don't have their age in their bio, I'm gonna assume that they're an adult. Okay? But unless their content kind of looks childish, then I'm assuming that they're a child. Because there are adults out here who don't put their age in their bio. There are adults out here who don't feel comfortable with sharing their age, which really should just be something that needs to be put on high alert. But when you are on the internet and you're making friends and you're talking to people, don't share any information. Don't tell them where you live. I mean, age is a big thing now. So the only sensitive information you really should share is your fucking age. You shouldn't really share anything else because how does this person that you're talking to know that you're a kid or an adult? They don't. They need to know that because now in society, if you are an adult talking to a child and they don't even have to be nothing sexual, people will call you a pedophile. So yeah, age is a big thing. And speaking of age, in the reaction video with Madame Moiselle, Jada says to her mom, "How am I acting grown? I tell them my age, and it was even in her bio." So if your age 14 was in your bio, and these men continue to text you anyway, and continue to have conversations with you anyway, those were child predators. And that could have also been what your mom was meaning by, how much danger you put my family in. Because those are also child predators. If somebody sees that you're underage and they continue to talk to you, it don't even have to be anything sexual. It's a fucking predator. Because really, any sane adult, if they see somebody that's like 16 or 15 or 14 or whatever, they should hit the block button. If they don't hit the block button and if they initiate conversation with that child, it will potentially be a child predator. Okay, that's just something that it's cold in here. That's just something with society. Excuse me. That's just something with society nowadays. Because I watch a lot of Chris Hansen, and I'm not saying just because I know how these child predators work, but I know some of the signs. And if they know that you're 14 and you send a titty pic anyway, then they'll be in possession of child pornography. And they should really be executed because I have no sympathy for pedophiles. But yeah. Anyway, that video just stands out to me way too much. You have some Instagram, you have some girls who get exposed on Instagram. It seems like every girl that got exposed on Instagram, child pornography and child exploitation is always involved. Always. There's this one video of a mother, and she was exposing her 13-year-old daughter because she was on Facebook posting pictures of her sitting in her bra and panties, saying that she was 19, and she has friends that were grown men on her Facebook page and all that, and that's where the lying about your age part comes in to play. Because if you look at the video, and this one actually made national headlines, this actually made national news. And in the news report, the mom said this is not her first time. This is not her first time doing this. Probably her second or third time. Okay, if you look at the kid in the video, the girl with the blue shirt, I forgot her name, but she don't even look 13. If I had to guess, I would probably say she would probably been maybe 17 or 18 years old. She didn't even look 13, you know? And she was posting pictures on Facebook with lace panties on and bras on and stuff, which is, y'all already know what I'm going to say is child pornography and exploitation of a minor. That's what the mom was doing. But the mom was putting the daughter in place. Really, she was. And this was one of the mothers besides another one, which was the opposite race. She was Caucasian. She was white. her daughter name was Bailey, but I'll get to her next. But the mom was going off on the daughter. Now, she wasn't, I wouldn't say that she was very, very harsh with her, but it's almost like she was professional, but she kind of wasn't. She was, pointing out, all the facts and all that. And for the grown men, they probably actually, this is where I take and give the benefit of doubt. For the grown men, they probably actually thought she was 19 because she looked like she could have passed for 19. There are a lot of teenagers, with me actually being one of them, that can pass for older. What the frick? That could pass for older. Even back then when I was young, I could have passed for older and we were underage. There's a lot of people out here. You have a lot of children now who are like 16 and 17 and 15 and 14, and they look like they're 18, 19, 20, and 21 years old. All right, because it's all up here. It's all up here. It's all up in the face. It's all up in the waist. Same thing with guys. Same thing with boys. You'll have boys who are 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, and they have deep ass voices almost like they're in their 20s and 30s. So, yeah, and the lying about your age is the thing that I always got on, podcasts about, because when you lie about your age and you do this kind of shit, you're not only going to expose yourself to material that you don't want to be exposed to, but you are also going to get the other parties in trouble because they're not going to know that you're a minor. Excuse me. Sorry. They're not going to know that you're a minor. And a lot of people, a lot of pedophiles, when they get prosecuted for things like this, they'll say, well, I didn't know she was, 13, or I didn't know she was 14. in this situation with a mom exposing a 13-year-old girl, I as a judge will find that excuse valid because she lied about her age. Okay, you know how they say men lie and women lie, but numbers don't lie. Well, yeah, she obviously looked like she was 19 in that, but she was actually 13. But yeah, the mom was going in on her. The mom was talking about like, you still wear underwear that says Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I think I had those kind of underwear when I was young. It was cute. It was cute. I actually liked those. It was cute. It's saying that you still watch Disney Channel, which is, in my opinion, that comment was ignorant as hell because you have adults that are like in their 40s and 50s that are obsessed with like Mickey Mouse and Looney Tunes and stuff like that. So that was pretty much an ignorant comment. Hell, I'm 19 years old. I still watch SpongeBob. His show for 7-year-olds. I still watch like regular show and Amazing World, Gumball and stuff. I still watch cartoons because no one's too old for cartoons. Just because she watches Disney Channel don't mean that she's a fucking kid. Come on now, it's weird. That was an ignorant comment. Um, and another thing about these kind of videos too, especially within the black community, is I don't really see a father figure present. Now the you can go and check that one out. If you just type in basic shit like kids getting exposed on social media or Instagram some shit, you'll probably run into that video first. And remember that video actually made the news, and you can listen to the news article. The next video I want to talk about, but not so much, is like I said with the white mom with her daughter, Bailey. She was another one who was pretty. She was pretty smooth. She was doing like she was cussing and fussing and stuff, but she didn't expose her daughter and shit. She was saying that she found like a grown man in her 16-year-old daughter's closet or something, like a 22-year-old guy. You know, so obviously the daughter was sleeping around and all that. The mom was mad. She was just so mad. And it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It really was. Just imagine screwing around in your parents' house at 16 years old with somebody 6 years older than you, and they're found hiding in the closet. That's kind of basic. You don't think so? Like when couples cheat on each other, that's where they go. They either go under the bed or in the closet. It's not funny. It's not funny, but it's pretty goofy to me. Like you could have jumped out the window. I'll never. If I ever get married, I'm not cheating on my husband. Because to be real with you, I don't. My parents gonna raise a cheater for number one, and number two, I don't even think he'll end up getting out of that small ass house. So, but yeah, she exposed her daughter for what she was doing, but she also put the guys, and I think her other friends who she was hanging around with, talking about, I think they were drinking underage or something like that. But she literally put everybody on the spot. She just didn't limit everything to her daughter. She gave everyone the business, which is, I applaud her right there. Because a lot of parents, mothers who expose their daughters for doing stuff like that, it seems like they're always attacking the daughters. Like, they're not attacking no one else but the daughters, as if she was the only one involved. The next video I want to go ahead and talk about is one with Alexis. If you don't know who Alexis is, and again, I'm not trying to shame these children because in these kind of situations, I believe that kids are actually victims, and this is nothing but fucking trauma. And like I told you guys on Saturday night podcast, how I said I was traumatized, and that's why I was doing shit that I was doing. Maybe these kids went through the same exact shit and just took it, way farther than I did. All right, because when we were all children, we all did fucked up shit. Okay, so Alexis was a 14-year-old girl, and she had a Instagram. And what she was doing, her parents was just so obnoxious, and I don't even. And she has a dad, but you didn't. She has a dad, but you didn't see the dad. But her parents was so obnoxious. They were acting like a bunch of high schoolers. They made high school children look mature. And we all been through high school. And we can tell you right now that our answers were not mature back then. Not at all. Even though we were growing up, even though we already hit puberty, we sure as hell wasn't mature because we were still kids. Okay? Yes, we were old enough to get a job. Yes, we were old enough to get a permit, but we were still kids. Okay? Come on, dude. We still play with toys. We still play with video games. But her parents made made middle schoolers look mature. And middle schoolers are not mature for shit. We all went through middle school. Okay? But what Alexis was doing, she was pretty much doing the same thing that Jada was doing, sending nudes. She from watching pornography on the internet, and for what I heard is that she, from her mama, that she kissed a kid, a little boy, probably around her age, somebody she was seeing, I guess, coming home from school. And the crazy thing in this live that just bugs me not only was the parents' obnoxious attitudes, but the fact they compare her to another person's kid. Her mom said these exact words saying, I bet Haley, the kid's name was Haley. I don't know who the hell Haley was, and I'm pretty sure she don't either. But she said Haley isn't, watching perverted shit on the internet and all that kind of stuff. Dude, and I was in here talking to my sister Josanna about this yesterday because we was watching it on TV. And I looked at Josanna, I said, dude, you don't know who that kid is. For all we know, Haley could have been doing so much worse than what Alexis is doing. She could have been out there bullying little kids, probably getting in trouble, probably getting arrested. Haley's probably not even a kid. And you're comparing your child to somebody else's child who you don't even know. And I'm just going to go ahead and assume that they don't know who Haley is because, again, this was on fucking Instagram. And when you're on the internet, you do not, nobody knows who you are behind the screen. Even if you tell them, what are the chances that you're going to lie? What are the chances that you're going to tell the truth? There isn't none. Okay? Because people have their own fucking beliefs. All right? Only if there was enough evidence to back that shit up, then okay, I see that happening. But you were comparing your 14-year-old daughter to somebody who could have been a grown woman, to somebody who could have been a guy, to somebody who could have been someone else's daughter, or maybe son. Because come on, dude, it's 2023, But I think this was shot. I think this was shot 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. That video is still up. They had her standing in the corner and all that, and her little siblings was in the room, and they were like, it's almost like the whole entire family. And Madame Moiselle said this. It's almost like the whole entire family was literally bullying her, almost like, yeah, okay, well, you sent nudes, you sent nudes, now you're in trouble, and all that kind of crazy shit. And I don't know how many siblings she had. I'm going to go ahead and assume two. But the way that they acted, and they even said during the live stream, this was actually the first. I'm thinking that's the first thing that you guys actually hear. She was like, "Alexis, do you want to tell your followers what we did with your iPhone or some shit?" And she said we beat it with a hammer. So to be honest with you, that's your money. So you don't waste your money. All right? Because let me tell you something about that. That was an immature action. Beating up your devices with a hammer or any kind of tool that's in your house is not going to erase what the hell Alexis did, which is stupid. If you want something like that to be handled, you get the FBI on the case. You get your police department on the case if you want that kind of shit handled. You don't just take and destroy your own shit. Although it's not illegal to destroy your own shit, although it isn't illegal, it's not really the mature thing to do. You're not some 15-year-old video game rager boy that can't win Fortnite and you punch your computer screen as if that's going to change anything. You're a grown ass woman, probably in her 30s and 40s, raising 2 and 3 kids. And it's disgusting. It really makes me feel upset about these girls because it's almost like we're treated like objects. But I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I want to talk about another video, and this one got me. This one pissed me off more than any of the other ones that I have viewed. This is a I don't know the name of this 14-year-old girl, but obviously she's a black girl, and her mom was extremely upset, and she was like yelling at her, like, "How old are you?" The girl says 14. The mom says, "All right, um, how many times did you have sex?" "Once," says the girl. Then the mom continues to like berate her, talking about, "Are you sucking dick? Do your mom let you do any of this bullshit?" Obviously, because it is bullshit. And then the thing that really made me upset was the fact that her mom said she was texting multiple boys and a girl, and before she asked this question, she asked how many times did you have sex, and this girl said one. Okay. But the mother asked her, "You texting multiple boys?" She says yes. "And what does that make you?" She said, that makes me a hoe." That don't make you a hoe, darling. The definition of a hoe and a whore is a promiscuous woman or women with multiple sex partners. Just because you're talking to multiple people of the opposite sex does not make you a hoe. That is not the literal definition of a hoe. It's not even called hoeing around. Isn't believe it or not, when we're talking about married couples, there is a such thing with as open marriage, and open marriage just really means that a husband or a wife approves of the other, the significant other sleeping around with whoever the fuck. That's really the definition of hoeing around. Okay, and when you talking about like dating and married couples, I'm speaking from a perspective of a young lady. Your husbands wouldn't want you to be friends with all these fucking guys because he'll think that you're fucking them. And this haven't really been a thing. Because when we were kids, we were told not to talk about boys or talk to boys. We were told not to worry about boys, to worry about school. And when you take and I want to say when you ground us as girls, as women, from talking to the opposite gender, it's almost like guys don't even exist. Obviously, in this realm, they don't, because a lot of videos I'm talking about, you've heard of just girls being exposed, and I'm gonna get to that too when I get finished. It does not that doesn't make you a hoe. It doesn't. Now, even if you were to send uh pictures, which is I don't even know if she did, I don't remember. But even if you were to send videos and pictures and shit, I still wouldn't call you a hoe. Because if you're saying that you only had sex once, then I'm going to automatically assume that you only had sex once with one partner. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I should have put all this stuff on the Disturb before I got on here. I wouldn't say that's hoe behavior. But honey, let me tell you something. It only takes one time for us to get pregnant. Regardless if the guy pulls out or not. It only takes us one time. And this video that I'm talking about with the girl also had a follow up. And the mama was talking about she ran away, and the reason why she ran away is because she was gonna be 15 in 8th grade again, and because she couldn't get an iPhone 11 or some shit. Mom, you really think that's the reason why she ran away, or do you think she really ran away because you exposed her on the internet and you made her confirm that she was a hoe just because she was talking to people of the opposite gender, multiple of them? So are you sure? Because let me tell you something. There were times where I wanted to run away, but I never did. I never did because I knew for a fact I wasn't going to survive there. Plus, I was a child. Okay, if I would have got exposed like that, I wouldn't even have a channel because I would have been somewhere else. I wouldn't even. I would have been somewhere. I would have probably been dead. I would have probably been dead somewhere. I think she truly just ran away because of what that mama did. Because that was trauma that inflicted on her, and that was mental health. And you don't know. Let me tell you something. You don't know what kids go through, just like kids really don't know what their parents go through. Kids are human too. They get stressed out too. They get sick and tired too. Come on, dude. When we were kids, we were sick and tired of school. We just couldn't wait till summer and winter break comes on. We couldn't wait until we graduated or moved on or even got out of class. I can remember it was the first day of school, and a lot of my classes were like, dude, I just want to go home. It wasn't even 8 o'clock yet. We was in homeroom. It wasn't even 8 o'clock yet. And if these people who saw this Instagram live went to her school, what's the percentage of her getting bullied? Because let me tell you something about students who be bullied. They end up killing themselves. Mm. Yeah. Who's talking? Shut up. I'm talking. They end up committing suicide. They end up killing themselves for being bullied. And then you also got to consider, too, that a lot of these school systems don't give a fuck. So this girl, even though she's doing all this bullshit, she's really backed up into a corner. She has this mindset now, well, my mom don't care about me and all this kind of shit. And even though the mom says, I would go to jail, I wouldn't go to jail for anybody else, so I would go to jail for you. That's the line that stood out to me the most, that saying that this mom really do give a fuck, because a lot of these parents, they don't say that. But the mom said, I wouldn't go to jail for any of these other folk, but I'll go to jail for you. Mm. And how I'm interpreting that is that she'll protect her kid. She will. But the fact that she made her admit that she was a hoe, she was backed in the corner, she was already scared, she was already begging. She's a weakling. She is. And her mom was very scary. Very scary. I'm not gonna lie. She was very scary. Almost like a Disney Pixar villain. She was very scary. But I don't tolerate that. I really don't. And during this age too, 14, 13, and 12, during these ages too, kids, they become sexually aware. I was taught sex ed when I was 11. I found out about porn when I was 8. Okay, so we really do at a young age become sexually aware. So yes, there are going to have 14-year-olds having sex. Yes, there are going to have 15-year-olds having sex. I went to school with one of my friends. She was 17 and she was pregnant. Well, she already had the kid. But she already had the kid, but I went to school with her. I'm not throwing any names out there, but I went to school with her. So yeah, during our teen years, that's when we are really most sexually active, and I say woke. We're just aware. All right. So it's not uncommon for teen pregnancy to occur, even though the age in most of the United States is 16, and then you have some states that are like 17, like Texas, and then you have Florida and Delaware that says the age of consent is 18. But most other states, says 16. You got kids who have sex younger than that and give birth that's younger than that, and it's very disturbing. It's very disturbing. Sometimes you can't really blame the parents for stuff like that because that's a conscious decision. Really, though, that's when the law needs to step in. To be honest with you, because that's just illegal. That was something legal, you know. But another video I want to talk about, and I have a lot of these videos, a lot. Another one of these videos I want to talk about was a video with this 12-year-old girl, I believe. She was 11 and 12, and she was selling her nudes in her mom's house. $5 for Cash App. Yeah, that's prostitution. And these people that she's selling it to are grown men. Because what boy do you know at 12 years old has money, nonetheless, Cash App for stuff like that? Because when I was growing up and we had money, bro, we would spend our money on games, on toys, on food, candy, whatever. We wouldn't spend it on no damn news like that. Back then, OnlyFans didn't even exist. Okay? But she was in her mom's house selling news, and this is a 1-minute video. But it was just, that's too much. See how I'm saying that child pornography is involved in literally almost all these videos that I'm talking about? Because they're not just paying for prostitution, child exploitation as well. It's child pornography. It's just everything. It's just a fucking felony. A whole entire felony is going on around here. A whole entire felony. You're 12 years old. You're not even supposed to have a Cash App. All right. You're not mature enough to have a Cash App. Dude, school don't even teach us how to do taxes. We got to find that out for ourselves. You're 12 years old. You're not even supposed to have a Cash App. And you're also 12 and you're selling your body. If you're selling your body, don't these people that know if you're selling your body knows that you're a fucking minor? Or are they just a bunch of damn pedophiles and creeps that can't get no bitches? Is that what it is now? Is that what we're doing? and I don't know when this screen recording was. I think it was a few months to a few years ago. And hopefully this girl is doing well. But what you gonna do with $5, bro? You can't do anything with that. Especially in today's time, $5 won't even get you a full tank of gas. Joe Biden fucking that up too. That's prostitution, dude. That's prostitution. It's just a lot of felonies, a lot of law shit going on. This is a lot of shit. Whatever happened to family therapy, really? But then you also gotta consider what's her issue. Why is she doing this? Because a kid just don't wake up one day and say, "Oh, I'm just going to message a lot of random people on Instagram or on Snapchat to cash me $5 and sell my body." No, something has to happen. Something happened. Because if she's 12 and she's doing that, something happened in her early life, and they need to get to the bottom of that. When I mean that, I'm talking about CPS. They need to get to the bottom of that because that's just very disturbing. And then the people who bought that need to be arrested. No, they don't need to be deleted. They need to be arrested, like literally arrested and serve life for that. They could harm that kid. That 12-year-old had no business sitting up there sending no news to people who were adults. Possibly adults, because you don't know these folks. All right. I just want to go ahead and talk about one more video because there's a lot of them out here. There's a lot of them out here. I want to talk about one more video. And there was another one. This one is not on YouTube. It used to be. It's not on YouTube anymore. And the kid's name in this video is Mariah. I believe Mariah is 14. She might be 13. I don't remember her name. But all I know is that her mom was like, "You're not supposed to be on Facebook and all that." And, talking about, I guess she was talking about sex because her mom did mention laying down with someone. But she also said next she's probably going to be on Facebook probably naked. So I guess she was just, I guess she was just doing the talk and not actually like posting inappropriate stuff. I don't really know the whole context. But they really did she really did expose a lot of Mariah's like female hygiene equipment. Like we wear pads and tampons. She exposed that her bathroom was really messy, and just telling her and just yelling at her. And then the thing that hurt me about this video is that you called her an illiterate bastard. You called your own child illiterate. And if you don't know the definition of illiterate, it means somebody who cannot read nor write. And then you called her a bastard, which means a child that's born to unmarried parents, which is probably 90% of us, by the way, in the world. I'll be honest with you, we still grow up to be good, hardworking individuals, so it's really nothing to be ashamed of. Fuck it. We get married once in a while, fuck it. But you calling your kid an illiterate bastard, on top of that she's black. I don't even just look at that as racially profiling. I don't even look at it as like a race thing. But I was very offended. I was very offended by that because Mariah sounded like she's something else, little something wrong with her. She sounded like that, and you called her kid illiterate and all that. It's not her fault. One thing about kids, and even with our parents, we didn't ask to be here. When Father created Adam and Eve didn't ask to be here. Father just went ahead and created them. So to call your kid a bastard when you were the one who laid down with some man who wasn't even stable to be her father, to be there, it's like you're just putting whatever you did on her on top of what she's doing. Okay, cool. She did what she's not supposed to do. Okay, kids don't listen. You tell a 5-year-old not to touch the stove, and he touch the stove anyway. Well, all I gotta tell you, little Timmy, is that you shouldn't have touched that stove. You knew it was hot. I already told you about that stove. Kids do stupid shit all the time. When we were children, we do stupid shit all the time. You have adults who do stupid shit all the time. I see Karens on YouTube throwing fits, and it's not nothing stereotypical. I see them throwing fits in Victoria's Secret, see them, blaming blacks, blaming other whites, being like 3-year-olds. It's just a reverse thing now. You have kids want to be grown, and you have grown-ups wanting to be kids. And for us adults who want to be kids, there's nothing wrong with that, because guess what? We can still play with toys, we can still watch cartoons, we can still do all of that, because it's great to live nostalgic. It's great. We're not like other adults. We're not out here smoking and paying for prostitution and getting 100 men, getting 100 men up inside us and getting 100 women pregnant. Shit, if you have a 30-year-old wife or husband who wants to play video games and who wants to play with toys, let them do that. Cause hey, at least they ain't out here cheating on you. You have to think like that. But anyway, that's not Mariah's fault that she's illiterate. That's not her fault that she's a bastard. And I don't want her to think that's her fault. And one thing that all these videos have in common is that they're in the black community, and it's always mothers and daughters. Now this is where I start talking about why these parents are bad parents. Except for like the 13-year-old and Bailey's mom. That's just for clout. You don't have to go on social media and put your kids on blast and traumatize them. And sometimes you guys even said, well, I whooped your ass before I even got on live. Why would you do that? You gotta pick one or the other. With Jada's mom, she was talking about, you want to show your followers your war wounds? Talking about, you know how you get hit with a belt or an extension cord, you got them little whiplashes on you, whatever you want to call them. Talking about show them your war wounds and all that kind of mess. Why would you take and whoop your daughter's ass, then go live, then you're abusing this kid on live, like punching her all in her fucking face and shit? And you can clearly tell in that video that Madame Moiselle reacted to with Jada that Jada was nervous, because Jada kept doing this. She kept talking. She kept running her mouth. You can tell that she was nervous. You can tell that she was embarrassed. Her feelings, Madame Moiselle said her tears didn't look real. And to be honest with you, they didn't. But I can tell that she was hurt. I know how that feels. I can tell you that hurts. And you want to talk about, her sending news and shit, but you just exploited child pornography to everybody. Like, you really don't have any room to be talking, ma'am. You really don't. Good parenting, in my opinion, and I am not a mother. My only children are Gugu and Yaya, okay? As a mother, as a father, if you really want to talk about good parenting, you gotta stop your kids from doing stupid shit before they can even do it. You have to. Don't wait until the shit has already been done. Chris Hansen runs a predator investigation, and he with Dateline, and he even made mention, I think it was either him or one of the officers made mention, dude, there are apps that you can use to look at what your kids are doing. There are apps that will block, inappropriate sites from your kids, like from your kids viewing. And it won't hurt to go through your kids' phones every once in a while. Because all of these kids getting exposed on social media or getting embarrassed on social media, child predators have a huge part to play in this. Because what Jada was doing was possibly talking to a pedophile. What Mariah could have possibly been doing, because I know her mom didn't really make mention that she was, she did say she was who wanted to lay down with somebody, but she could have potentially been talking to a child predator. Predators have a huge part to play in this shit. And this is something that not only has to stop, but legally needs to be handled. But you can also tell that how these mothers were yelling at their child and how they were degrading their kids. You can also pretty much tell that they were doing their job. That they were actually trying. And the kid went ahead and did whatever she wanted to do anyway. But there are ways to talk to people. You don't sit up there and call your fucking daughter a hoe just because she's talking to boys. That's not fucking normal. That's not normal to call a little girl a hoe or a whore just because she was talking to a little boy, multiple little boys. Mm-mm. That's not how that goes. And the thing, this is why too I made Yayaland. I created Yayaland, and why Yayaland is a predominantly female thing is because sometimes, guys, and I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes in my heart I really do hate guys. Just for the sheer factor, because it's kind of funny how when boys go and have sex, oh, it's all fine. Oh shit, look at my son getting bitches. A girl does it, we get called whores, we get called hoes, prostitute, thoughts, tranny, not trannies. Well, you get people do get called trannies. Well, yeah, okay, well, trannies. Then we get called all kinds. We get called all kinds of shit, and we can only have sex once and get pregnant once, and we get degraded like a damn old ass Windows computer. Yeah, fucking Windows 2000 over here. We get called all kinds of bitches and sluts and everything else. And this is when girls go and do it, but when guys do it, it's a fucking problem. Guys don't have to suffer the same kind of mental and emotional pain that women do. They really don't have to. And guys are held to a certain standard just like women are. But see, they can also get away with a lot of shit. Did you know that a lot of child molesters or rapists, period, are men? Did you know that a lot of America's prison population are men? About 7 or 8% of the prison population are women. Did you know that? Look it up. It's true. Men are more sustainable to violent crimes than women are. And you know, probably the only crime that us women will probably do is slash your tires if you cheat on us. But still, that's besides the point. And when you talk about little girls that are 12 and 13 and 14 years old, find out why they're doing this. Find out, come on, kid, tell me why you think it's appropriate to sell, excuse me, your private parts on the internet and you're like in the 6th grade, in the 7th grade. Tell me why you think it's okay to send titty pictures to people who you don't know. And do you know that doing that kind of shit can actually not only cost you, but cost us as a family? Know that. I'm 19 years old, and I don't even do that shit. I'm a legal damn adult, and I don't even do that shit. Because it's degrading. It's degrading. We already get degraded as is. A lot of women get pimped out as is. It's like we're treated as objects. While these little boys can go ahead and do whatever the hell they want, us women, we have to, us girls, we have to face all kinds of emotional and mental distraught and damage, and it's a lot that men don't have to deal with. And a lot of these videos too with these girls, a father figure isn't present or a stepdad is present. Stop making these damn babies with these damn mothers and you're not going to be there for them. That shit should be illegal by itself. If you're gonna lay down with somebody, at least marry her first. If you're gonna lay down with someone, at least marry her first. Because guess what? I feel like personally, especially in the black community, that if a lot of these kids' dads were present, a lot of this shit wouldn't happen. Because daddy would have been on that ass. Yes, he would have been. Okay? Here's another thing. You're doing this and exposing your kids on social media, like Mademoiselle will say, it's like an advertisement to these creeps. Because let me tell you the number one thing that pedophiles will do when they see these kind of videos and they see how the little girl was acting and how she was acting all fast and acting like she was grown and all that. It's like they're going to end up grooming them and making them feel like, well, they want a way out of this, so I'm gonna take them in. So and Mademoiselle also said this in Jada's video. She can go ahead and fuck around and meet somebody off of Instagram, and it turns out to be some old guy, that rapes her and kills her, and dumps her body in the woods. because that's what predators do. That's what child predators do. That's what murderers do. That's what kidnappers do. They'll take advantage of this kind of shit. So stop putting your kids online as if this shit is okay. I don't care what the hell they do. I don't care if they're smoking weed. I don't care if they're popping pills. I don't care if they're underage drinking. I don't care if they get in trouble with the law by shooting somebody. I don't even care if they're doing anything sexual. You don't put your kids on the damn internet because you're doing nothing but putting yourself in more danger and your child in more danger than what you already are in. It's not a smart thing to do. Stop acting like an adult. Stop acting like you're my age. Stop acting like you're 20. Stop acting like you're freaking 21. Because that's when we were young and dumb. You're mature. And some of these parents too, they got more than one kid. They have some of them actually have more than two kids. Y'all have other kids to worry about. Punish the one that's doing the bullshit and go focus on your other children without putting them on social media. They don't, let me lie to you guys. They have videos where boys get exposed, but they don't get exposed for shit like this. They normally get exposed for like flexing, maybe like stealing, maybe like lying or trying to act like they all tough or trying to be a gang member or even, just smoking weed. Because that's a guy thing. It's a guy thing. None of these boys who got exposed on social media, which is probably about 4 or 5 videos, none of these boys that got exposed on social media did anything sexual. It was either because they were smoking, they were drinking, they were wanting to be a gang member, trying to be tough, or they were fucking flexing some shit. That was about it. But everything that girls do that was fucking sexual, you're a whore, you're a thought, you're a slut, you're a hoe, you're everything under the damn sun, and no man's gonna want you. Well, guess what? I believe a man would want her. A man that will care about her and that will give her the life that she really deserved. Because again, there are a lot of kids out here you can tell more than once not to do some shit. They'll do it by themselves. That's on them. But when you have girls, especially little girls that are like 14 and 15, 13 and 12 years old, there's a reason why that they did this. There's a reason why. None of the shit that you're doing is going to change what goes on in their life, other than they'll probably end up being bullied or end up being harassed or some shit. Because when you're also doing this shit, you're not only opening up to your kids for harassment and being bullied, but you're also opening up yourself being harassed and being bullied by adults. Because kids aren't going to pent up to an adult. Adults will though. Adults will though. And that's very bad parenting. It's very bad parenting. When we were children, if we did some fuck shit, we got our ass beat. Our parents didn't grab their phone and download Instagram and Facebook and whatnot and be like, "Oh, this is what Mary does. This is what Josanna does." No, they didn't do that, and we had that back then. And then when you do this kind of shit too, it's clout and it's money. People who upload these videos, they get money from these videos. That's what YouTube is about. You think YouTube is just about watching videos and shit? No. If you have a channel, you make videos, it's a fucking job. It's not just a hobby, it's a job. Because you can make money from it. These people who are getting millions and millions of views for this shit, hundreds of thousands of views for this shit, they're making money off of these people's bad parenting. Clout. Just say you want your 15 minutes of fame, your 16, your 20 minutes of fame, and get it over with, son. Get it over with. Get it over with, sis. If your kid is out here giving head and hiding guys in your house and all that, even if you say no company, find out why. Exposing them on social media isn't going to do shit. It's not going to erase whatever trauma they've been through. It's not going to set them straight. It's all it's going to do is make them even more terrified of you as a parent. Children should be able to go to their parents and talk to their parents about whatever the fuck is going on in their life. They should be able to talk about their parents about school, if they're getting bullied, or if somebody's online doing something nasty to them. They should be able to do that. But because they can't, this is what you decide to do. And it's sad. And as a black community, how the hell are you going to talk about getting respect from Asians and Hispanics and whites when you guys can't even respect your own damn people? And y'all can't even respect your children. As much as children couldn't respect their parents, y'all can't respect your children because your kids are the ones who's being disrespectful, but you're really just making that disrespect worse. You're returning that disrespect, but on a whole worse level. And that's why if you go through a lot of comment sections on these videos, you'll see people taking the kid's side, and then you'll have people that be like, well, the kid was doing this and the other, so I don't really feel bad for her. And to be honest with you, I don't feel bad for them because, again, like I said in the beginning of this podcast, they don't know what they're doing, but they know what they're getting themselves into. They're very much conscious. But at the same time, the parent is a piece of shit. Really, it is. Do that. You know what? I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it alone. Do that in 2023, 24, 25, 26, 7 years down the line, and watch which jailhouse or which prison you're going to end up in. Watch that. And I really hope those people that those kids are talking to that receive those images, I hope they get arrested too, and I hope they get the death penalty because they're very sick fucks. Very sick. I can't. It's heartbreaking to see this because I wasn't raised like this. My sister Josanna wasn't raised like this. Our sister Abby wasn't raised like this. My friends weren't raised like this. And it's heartbreaking to see this happening. And we went to school where girls, when they talked about like sex and this and the other, pornography and shit, we went to school with these kind of children. We went to school with these kind of people, and some of these people are frankly was our friend who was doing this kind of mess. Everything that a kid does has a root. Some kid nowadays will do shit just because they want to. Like how we will tell Emanuela multiple times to stop using her content, stop doing this shit, and then she does it anyway, and she ended up suffering the consequences, which led her channel getting terminated. That's when you can't really blame the parent or blame the adult because you, at the time I was a kid, you as a kid told another kid not to take your shit, and she did it anyway, and she suffered the consequences. That's on her. But everything has a root, regardless if maybe their mental instability, or maybe it could have been trauma. It could have been anything that led to them because they're not just like a person just don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I feel like having sex with a child today. A person don't wake up and say that in the morning and actually go and do and get arrested and spend the rest of their life or 30 years in jail. A child isn't going to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to get on Snapchat or Instagram and I'm going to go ahead and sell my little booty pics or my little thigh pics or my titty pics for $5. They don't wake up and say that. Something make them do that. Something that happened because 12 years old is a very young age. That's very, very young. That's very young. 12 years old, dude. I was learning how to play the piano. I mean, I learned how to play the piano younger than that. But I was playing the piano when I was 12. I was drawing pictures when I was 12. I was playing with toys when I was 12. But that was way too young to be doing that. So they have to have a root cause for that. So instead of these parents behaving like they're hipster children in high school, they need to find out why their daughters are doing this. And if they're going to continue to do this kind of trauma, they need to do it to their sons if they have, and their sons doing it too. Because it's not fair for boys to get off easy while we as women and girls suffer this kind of trauma, this kind of emotional. It hurts. It never even happened to me, and it hurts, and I feel their pain. It never even happened to me. Be careful for what you post on the internet and who you're talking to and what you're sending to people. Because you might, Jada, for all I know, could have been talking to a cop, an undercover cop, probably working for Chris Hansen, or maybe Colorado Pet Patrol, or PP Toronto, or CC Unit, or People versus Price. That's for all I know. She could have been talking to an undercover cop because you never know who people are on the internet. And if you fall for this kind of shit, I cannot call you stupid. But if you fall for this kind of stuff, just be careful next time. You gotta sort some stuff out, make some stuff okay, and be like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna do it again. Don't ground yourself and not talk to anybody. If you want to make friends, go ahead and make friends. If they give you trouble, block them. Then you'll know that that person wasn't for you. It's not that hard. You might can't push a block button on a person in real life, but you can do it on the internet. That's why too most sites like Twitter and YouTube and Snapchat and Instagram have reports for like harassment and stuff. Because if you don't want somebody interacting with you, or if you don't want someone who's like a creep interacting with you and they continue to do so, you can report that for harassment and you can report it to Instagram and whatnot. And they'll handle it and that person will be gone the very next day. You can't do that in real life, dude. I wouldn't suggest meeting people offline either. I really wouldn't suggest it. I mean, because there's a high chance that the person behind that computer screen might not be the person that they portray themselves as, but you really don't know that. A lot of people will say fuck around and find out. If I were you, I wouldn't. I would keep everything exactly how it is. Let me do the testing of them, not the other way around. Because the last thing I would want to hear or see for any of these kids is them dead or pregnant with someone's kid and their parents are grieving. That's the last thing I would want to see. You got anything to say? You can talk now. Yeah, let's speak up. They're not going to be able to hear you. Yeah. Stop doing this shit for money. Stop doing this shit for money and get the word out there. Because when you take and whoop your kid's ass and then put them on social media, it's like double the trauma, triple the trauma, and that's gonna mess them up for the rest of their life. In a way, kids do it to themselves. They suffer the consequences. I was taught, you made your bed hard, you lay in it. But they ain't gotta do all that, bro. They green. They ain't gotta do all that. And you wanna know why some black kids hate their damn parents? That's why. Thankfully, we was raised right, and we ain't got any of those issues. And you at least be had the sense to be into us and not have them damn issues. These are the times where I really just want to hug my mom and dad and say, you know what, mom and dad, I know sometimes y'all was mean to me when I was a kid, but hey, at least y'all didn't do this shit. It makes me want to cry because it's like I don't cry, but it's like I just want to do that for being the best parents ever. I just want to tell Father, thank you for bringing me into this world by two great people and having me, being raised by two great people. Because guess what? Some of these mothers who do this, they try, and some of them are trying too hard, and some of them aren't trying hard enough. And you know what? Because this is all kids do now with social media, they don't want to do nothing with school. They want to be, I would say, bums because they want to be all that. Then social media, it's not really the key. It's actually making everything worse and better. Do what happened when we used to do fucked up shit on the internet. We got our shit taken away. No phones, no computers, no tablets, nothing. The least that we could have did that was related to electronic is watching TV. The only time we got our computer or our phone back is when we doing something with schoolwork. Other than that, no. No phone, none of that. Take this shit away. Don't break it, because all you doing is wasting money. And then you talking about something you broke that girl Alexia phone. Alexis. Okay, sorry, Alexa's phone. Talking about you breaking her phone, that could have been money that y'all could have used to your house note, y'all rent, y'all bills, whatever y'all doing. Because Alexa, she could go get a job and get her own phone. Yeah, but then if they would have did that to her phone, then that would have been destroying someone else's property. And in certain states, anything over $500 is a felony. So then that would have been another charge. Yeah. Damn. Stop being animals. I mean, I know we mammals, but damn. Stop being animals. Act like y'all got sense. Sit down and talk to your kids. Because if y'all don't sit down and talk to your kids about this, somebody else is going to do it for you. Y'all ain't going to like it. Y'all ain't gonna like the way they do it. Jeez, the nerve of people. I'm just glad it won't us, bro. But I do pray and hope that those children they heal and they recover from that stuff. And I hope the parents can actually open their eyes and be like, yeah, this ain't gonna be a thing, right? At least not anymore. Yeah, just treat your kids right. Y'all want respect, y'all gotta give it. Kids need to respect your parents, and parents need to take care of their kids. Need to be there for the kids. Something wrong with little Johnny or little Barbara? Something's wrong with them. Y'all need to talk to them. Don't yell at them or nothing, because the more y'all yell, the more y'all become angry and shit. The more fearful these kids gonna get to you. They ain't gonna be able to tell y'all anything, right? Every child should feel safe and comfortable with talking to their mom and dad. If they ain't got a mom, they should be comfortable talking to their dad. They ain't got a dad, they should be able to talk to their mom. But a lot of children out here who are born to parents that are married, those are the kind of kids that are blessed. They got both parents. They know who their real daddy is. They should be able to sit down and talk. Doing all that shit is not okay. Posting pictures of yourself online or sending it to other niggas ain't okay. It's not right. It's not legal. Come on now. I'm pretty sure America got some sex and laws too for adults. Talking about some y'all doing this shit. Nah, it's illegal. Nah, fam, that ain't how it works. Stop exposing y'all kids on the internet. Cause all y'all doing is making a little situation worse. If y'all want the situation handled, your kid up in there sending pictures or talking to people that she don't know that could potentially, like my sister said, be child predators. Sound to me, y'all need to get the FBI. Sound to me, y'all need to call 911. It don't sound to me, y'all need to bring this shit to the internet. Because all the internet is going to do is shame you as a parent. The right thing to do at this point would to be getting some FBI and some 911 files. Because y'all got all the proof right there. All you can do is report the shit. Let the police do their job. Let the people, the Federal Investigation Bureau, whatever you call. You said it. Yeah, I don't know what FBI really stands for, but let them do what it is they gotta do. Get them creeps arrested. This is why Chris Hansen do what he does to protect y'all children. Stop being extra. Y'all gonna end up getting exactly what the hell y'all looking for. Y'all continue with that mess. It ain't funny. It ain't cute. You want to deal with your kids, you do that behind closed doors. That ain't nobody's business. I'm done. My throat parched as fuck. Alright. Well, go get some water. It's some downstairs. Well, you heard her. Stop being extra. Just because you do extra, don't all of a sudden mean you're gonna get extra.